What's going on YouTube? It is Repulse back in another video. In today's video, we have another Chelsea news video. There's a decent amount that kicked off today. A lot about one particular player that has been pretty much linked since January. I think we all know who we're talking about, or I guess who I am talking about. So we'll get into that in today's video. Other than that, we have new goalkeeper links, and then we have more stuff on the Xavi Simons deal. So let's jump straight into that part. The Xavi Simons deal. Fabrizio says that Chelsea continues to work for the Xavi Simons deal. Xavi wants Chelsea. Chelsea are trying to find the right structure with the solution for Nkunku the priority. For Nkunku, he could be open to join Leipzig if there is a good proposal from Leipzig. So, basically talking about the swap deal that has the possibility to go through. Nkunku would be open to heading over to Germany to play for Leipzig again. Obviously, he was there for the earlier stages of his career after he left PSG. But yeah, continue to work on the deal. He wants to come here. It seems like he is going to be a Chelsea player. It's just how to get the outgoings out first. Obviously, we need Jackson and Nkunku to head out first. I don't think it's mandated that they leave, but I do think the club do want them to leave. So yeah, we're trying to find the right structure on the deal, and then also a solution for Nkunku, which could be Rebel Leipzig. I do expect them to come in for him, but I don't know if Nkunku would accept because obviously he's on pretty high wages at Chelsea. So I don't know if Leipzig's going to be open to offering all that, and I don't know if Nkunku would take a pay cut to go to a team without Champions League football. Yet to be seen, but we could see if Leipzig does go in for Nkunku because I do think that would be best case scenario for both parties because I do think Leipzig and Nkunku would both thrive. I think they are a match. I think Nkunku is rightfully profiled at Rebel Leipzig, and I think he would be great there. If he does end up going back, and then obviously Chelsea want Xavi Simons, and I think he's a tremendous player. So I think it works all three ways or I guess all four ways for Xavi Simons. He wants Chelsea. Chelsea want Xavi Simons, so it works that way. Rebel Leipzig want Nkunku. Nkunku wants to leave. Nkunku could be open to Leipzig as well. So kind of a good four-way street there for the swap deal to have potential to go through. More. Florian Plettenberg kind of refuted what Fabrizio said. He said that RB Leipzig have a high opinion of Christopher Nkunku and are interested in return. A permanent deal, however, is currently unlikely. Leipzig are also not planning a swap deal involving Xavi. If anything, Leipzig will only consider a loan. Even then, there will need to be a special arrangement regarding wage coverage. Um, yeah, I think the reason why it's unlikely is because of the wages that Christopher Nkunku is on. He'd definitely have to take a pay cut to head over to Leipzig, which I don't know if he'd want to do. But if he does want to play football regularly, then I do think this would be the best move for him. And I think it would open doors to a better move in the future. So if Nkunku heads to Leipzig, I think it is a good move for him. But then again, he has to take a massive pay cut to head over on a permanent deal. And it seems like Leipzig are only considering a loan at this time because of Nkunku's wages and how expensive the deal would be. And even then, if we do send him out on loan, we pretty much have to cover some wages to make sure that Leipzig are only paying the amount that they want. So it seems like the swap deal may not happen. I do think there is a possibility that it does happen. I think something will happen in the coming days. And Nkunku and Leipzig are both interested in pairing up, so we'll see if a permanent deal does happen. Because at the end of the day, it's down to the player to take a pay cut, as well as Rebel Leipzig to pay up with the money they got from Sheshko to, going for Nkunku. So we'll see if anything happens between that. Florian Plettenberg, or no, Florian Plettenberg's next as well. Sorry, Bobby Vincent said that Manchester City have expressed an interest in Xavi Simons, and this sent the fan base into a frenzy. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's off to Manchester City. Chelsea took too long. Chelsea let this deal fumble through." Everyone just needs to calm down. As Fabrizio said back here, Xavi wants Chelsea. We know Xavi wants Chelsea. He's gonna hold out for the move. I mean, if he already rejected Arsenal, if he already rejected Bayern Munich, for Chelsea, it's pretty set or it's pretty obvious to see where his heart is set on, and that is headed to London to, wear the Chelsea kit, and be a player over here. So I don't think there's any concern here. I think the deal does happen inevitably. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if. And everyone said that. Everyone's pretty much telling everyone to calm down. He's going to become a Chelsea player. You just need to, trust and relax. Pretty much everyone just needs to relax. Standard negotiation, it's going to take a while. It's Rebel Leipzig. They are a hard negotiating club. Yes, there's good relations between the clubs, but we're also focused on outgoings. If we get Nkunku out, you best believe Xavi is coming in hours after that. or the day after that, as well as if Jackson leaves, you can guarantee that Xavi does come through the door as well. Um, but yeah, Manchester City expressing interest. I don't think anything's gonna really happen there. Obviously they have Cherky, they have Marmoush, Bernardo Silva, um, and then on the wings they have Doku. They're letting go of Savinho. They're letting go of Grealish, but I expect Cherky to play the right wing, Bernardo Silva to play the cam. Um, you know, Doku to play the left wing, Holland up top, or Marmoush at the 10. You know, too much squad depth there, and I don't think Xavi will really see a place there unless it's on that left wing. But I don't think they spent all that money on Doku just to let him go this early. So I don't really expect Manchester City to be a concrete team to head in for Xavi Simons. I think it's a pretty straight road still for Chelsea. I think this is kind of just Red Bull Leipzig putting out a brief to tell Chelsea to step up in their negotiations. They're not the only team involved. And yeah, I think Chelsea will inevitably pay what RB Leipzig want. But I do think that comes after we do sell players. So it's gonna take a bit. We know it's gonna take a bit because we do have to let go of Nkunku or Jackson, one or the other, for Xavi Simons to come through the door, and then the next one to leave after that. We will get this player, um, that I'm talking about next after Xavi Simons, which y'all know is Garnacho. But Florian Plettenberg said again that Xavi Simons has already agreed full terms with Chelsea and is still willing to join Chelsea, waiting patiently. Chelsea are still signaling that they want to finalize the Xavi deal, but first need further player offloads. A swap deal involving Christopher Nkunku is currently not being discussed, although Fabrizio did say it was. So, there's a little um, either unvalidity to Fabrizio or unvalidity to Florian Plettenberg. So it's for y'all to decide, y'all to believe who y'all want. But they did say that Rebel Leipzig are open to an Nkunku loan. The total Xavi package is currently too expensive for Bayern Munich, meaning that they won't go in for him. But it doesn't seem like Xavi Simons wants to go to Bayern Munich anyway. He wants to move from the Bundesliga and head over to the Premier League. And it's good to know that personal terms are agreed with. He's just waiting for Chelsea at this point. And he will become a Chelsea player. It's just once the outgoings happen. And I do think Chelsea ramp up these negotiations sometime soon to get these players out the door. Um, so yeah, that's that on Xavi Simons. Headed over to Garnacho. Fabrizio said that Garnacho is waiting in the background to move to Chelsea. Chelsea priority right now is Jackson and Nkunku out, which we know. Working on the Simons deal also. So yeah, Xavi Simons will become a Chelsea player. It's pretty much a matter of time. Obviously, we still have 20 days left in the window. It's not like it's an immediate rush. Don't face any heavy opposition by the time that the window closes, so we can wait for Siemens to come in as well as Garnacho. But yeah, our priority is not getting the incomings, it's getting the outgoings. Because obviously we have a plea deal with UEFA that we pretty much have to stay balanced on the books to register players for the Champions League, and that means that Jackson and Nkunku are going to have to leave to register these players. So that's why I think there is a hold up on the Siemens and Garnacho deals. But Garnacho is waiting for Chelsea as well. And Fabrizio said that Chelsea offered the chance to include players in the Garnacho talks: Vega, Nkunku, Jackson, or Disasi. United want money and rejected this opportunity. Chelsea want to pay around 30. Manchester United want £50 million. Alejandro is working hard and being attentive to his phone in case he gets a call to travel for medical. Maresca has a plan for Alejandro and his development. So, I think that's pretty much why we're in for Garnacho. Is Maresca knows what he wants to do with Garnacho. To untap that potential that we know he has. It's just, is he gonna reach it? But on the price thing, Chelsea are gonna stay firm. I expect Manchester United to cave in. They need the pure profit. They need the money. They want £50 million. They're not getting £50 million. You want to fund Baleba, you're gonna need to sell Garnacho. You want to bounce the books off Sheshko, Cunha, and Blemo, you're gonna have to drop your valuation. Just get the money through the door. And I expect that's what they will do. So I expect it to be a 30 plus 5 deal or something like that, or 30 plus 10 with hard add-ons that Garnacho would have to meet while playing at Chelsea. But yeah, it's a deal that I expect to go through at some point in this window. But United want the money and they're holding out for a ridiculous fee. I mean, 50 million is way too much. They try to place the benchmark on Nani Madueke, but I mean, I don't think Manchester United understand the negotiating power we had in the Madueke deal compared to the negotiating power they have in this Garnacho deal. Garnacho publicly wants out. You publicly said you want Garnacho to leave the club. You're not playing him. He's not a part of your plans. And he's also forcing the move out. and wants to move to this specific club and has rejected other clubs. So, Chelsea aren't going to be like, well, we're not facing any competition. We're not going to pay you what you want because we literally are the only club that he will go to. On the Madueke deal, he still played for us. He was still part of our plans. Arsenal just happened to come in for him while he was still part of our plans, and he was open to the move. He didn't, you know, push. He didn't do anything like that. Even when he was linked, he still came on in the Club World Cup and played a couple substitute appearances for us. Obviously, his head wasn't entirely in it, but he was still part of our plans leading up to the Club World Cup and within the Club World Cup. It was just when Arsenal came in is when the idea of him leaving actually got floated around. It wasn't until then that Madueke was going to go. With Garnacho, we know he's leaving regardless. So yeah, Chelsea had all the negotiating power in the world on the Madueke deal. We were able to set benchmarks on players that we thought were similar to Madueke. Madueke wasn't forcing a move out the club, and at the same time we weren't actively looking to sell him, but we would sell him with the right proposal, which Arsenal ended up meeting. United, you don't have negotiating power here. Garnacho wants to move. He only wants Chelsea. He rejected other clubs to, um, just focus on the move to Chelsea. So Chelsea aren't facing any competition. Whatever bid they're going to put in, Manchester United have the, yes or no to, but it's only going to be Chelsea putting in a bid. Personal terms are agreed with Garnacho. He's pushing for the move. You've publicly said that Garnacho is not part of your plans. He's publicly said he wants to move. You have no negotiating standpoint here, so I don't know why they're demanding such a high fee. It's not going to be met. It's not going to be anywhere close to that. And if it isn't, then he's just going to sit on the bench and take money away from you with wages. So, it's really up to United to see what they want to do. Um, but Garnacho sees Chelsea as a perfect destination to revive his career after a difficult time under Ruben Amorim. He's waiting and hoping. Said Fabrizio. Yeah, I think it'd be a decent destination for him. I think, playing on that left wing will be good for him after, we do have Jamie Gittins start on that left wing. But we can see how Garnacho does develop there. Maybe he becomes a good rotation player at Chelsea. I don't know how much game time he would get if he does come in. Probably play against the lesser opposition sides, and then we'll see what we do when Xavi comes through the door. If he is a rotation player, or if he's, I guess everyone in the attack is technically a rotation player besides Cole Palmer. But we'll see how Maresca mixes and matches the lineups. But yeah, I think it would be a decent destination for Garnacho. I think he could probably kick on here, but I'm not too hopeful on that because I'm not the biggest fan of him. But maybe he does succeed here. But more. Fabrizio said that Garnacho's message to Man United was Chelsea are stay here and don't play football for 6 to 12 months. So yeah, I mean, back to the negotiating power thing. What did Manchester United do? They just pretty much have to sell him for whatever Chelsea bid. Um, Because, I mean, Garnacho says, Chelsea, or I stay here, I take money for you, and I don't play football, so I'm not in your lineups, but you're still giving me money. Well, on the other hand, you can just sell me to Chelsea, get the pure profit. I get the move I'm pushing for and only want. I'm not going anywhere else besides Chelsea, so you either sell me there or you keep me on the books and I just keep taking money from you, or you just get the pure profit in £30 million. I mean, yeah, I just don't get the valuation by Manchester United, to be honest. But they're not the best run club right now, so maybe that's probably why. But more, um, Chelsea can't wait to welcome Alejandro Garnacho to the football club. Little extra by Fabrizio here, but whatever. Yeah, I think the club definitely wants him to come through the door. I think we're definitely pushing for the move, and that was pretty evident because Fabrizio 3 hours ago said that Chelsea step up talks for Alejandro Garnacho. Club to club discussions with Man United are well underway. Garnacho only wants Chelsea personal terms are agreed, and the two clubs are in negotiation over fee. Garnacho expected to become a Chelsea player this summer. So yeah, in club to club negotiations now, we knew that personal terms were fully agreed, but I do want to preface this because some people are saying, well, it seems like Alejandro Garnacho is the priority over Xavi Simons now. No, not at all. Not at all. People need to understand, we just began club to club discussions. Yes, they're well underway, but they just began at the same time. Xavi Simons were in negotiations, advanced negotiations, where it's pretty much once the outgoings head out, then Xavi Simons will become a Chelsea player. It's not that we're prioritizing Garnacho over Xavi Simons. I'm pretty sure that Leipzig and Chelsea probably have a gentleman's agreement by this point with the amount they've spoken already um, on the fee for Xavi Simons. And, once Chelsea let go of Jackson, let go of Nkunku, then, they'll just bid the amount that the gentleman's agreement most likely is gets accepted, Xavi Simons becomes a Chelsea player. I think that's the exact same thing that Garnacho or that's going to happen with Garnacho. I think um, Man United and Chelsea are going to talk over the fee. Uh, Pretty much a gentleman's agreement as well. Once the negotiations concluded, um, we're going to focus on our outgoings first, and then once those head out the door, then we'll bid for Garnacho as well. So probably two here we goes for Garnacho and Xavi Simons very pretty much simultaneously, because I expect there to just be gentlemen's agreements that we bid for. Um, Once those players do leave. So, we'll see how it does develop, but I expect that to happen. I expect, Xavi Simons on, let's say, a Friday and then Garnacho on a Saturday, or two in one day, maybe. You never know. Um, but yeah, he only wants to come here. He's going to come here. But, it happens when Nkunku and Jackson do leave. But more. Fabrizio said that Alejandro Garnacho getting closer and closer to joining Chelsea. Clubs are now actively in talks to reach an agreement. Chelsea are now accelerating and want to get it done, entering final stages of the story. Other clubs, no chance. Garnacho wants Chelsea and has agreed all terms on his contract. Yeah, so, this deal is progressing, and I expect it to progress a lot faster than Xavi Simons' deal did, because I expect Man United to be like, oh, we want 50, Chelsea. We're only bidding 30. United, well, give us 40, give us 30 plus 10. Chelsea, no, we're giving you 30. Give us 30 plus 5. No, we're giving you 30. Okay, we'll take 30. And then Garnacho does end up inevitably coming to Chelsea. Yeah, I think, the deal does get concluded at the same time as the Xavi Simons deal. I don't know about it. Yes, it's getting to the final stages, but I don't know if we want to get it done right now. You know, I think it will be something that it does happen. Obviously, accelerating just means we're in talks. We're advancing in talks. It's not like it's something immediate, like the Here We Go's coming tomorrow, but um, Garnacho will become a Chelsea player. It's just a matter of when, not if, and I expect that to happen after Nkunku and Jackson leave. Moving on to Donnarumma. PSG exclude Donnarumma from their squad for the UEFA Super Cup. Donnarumma will not sign a new deal at PSG. There's no agreement. He will 100% leave the club this summer or in 2026 as a free agent. Gigios can't feel it is an unfair situation for the goalkeeper. So this raised questions to Chelsea fans of, where Donnarumma might go. Is he going to head to Manchester United? Is he going to head to Manchester City? Most likely not, because James Trafford just went there. So yeah, is Donnarumma's only landing spot Manchester United? And then we got this. Fabrice Hawkins said that Chelsea and Manchester United have inquired about Donnarumma in recent hours. No concrete offers so far. Yeah, so apparently we were interested at this point in the day. And then Fabrizio followed this up by saying Gigio Donnarumma, will leave PSG for sure, most likely this or eventually next summer. The relationship is completely broken after club decided to exclude Gigio from their squad for the Super Cup. Understand Premier League is the most likely destination, so these two were kind of in tandem. So everyone was like, maybe um, Chelsea are actually in for Donnarumma. Maybe Donnarumma does become a goalkeeper at Chelsea. In my opinion, I don't want it to happen. I do think he's a very similar goalkeeper to Sanchez, and I think Sanchez and him are relatively similar in the shot stopping, and I think they make similar amounts of mistakes. I think Donnarumma might be even worse with the ball at his feet than Sanchez is. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't take him. Yes, he's a big name. I know fans are going to be calling out for him just because he's simply a big name, but yeah, not someone I would bring in if you actually watch him play. And the way he fits into that PSG style, I don't think it would really fit here at Chelsea, because obviously they play with the ball at their feet a lot, and the goalkeeper is a heavy part in that at PSG as well as Chelsea. And Donnarumma did make a ton of mistakes. But Fabrizio said, no talks, no discussions. Chelsea are now working on Donnarumma. This is the last talking point in the video. But yeah, it seems like we're not in for Donnarumma at all. Spelled Donnarumma wrong there, but not going to talk about that. But yeah, no talks, no discussion. So it might be a clear red for Manchester United. I don't know if that'd be a good signing for them, but we're not in for Donnarumma, so the links can stop happening, the rumors can stop happening. Nothing is going on with the Donnarumma deal. Chelsea are not in for him. Chelsea are not actively looking for a new goalkeeper. We've done this for a while. So yeah, nothing's headed on there. So no need to pretty much freak out and say, oh my gosh, we're getting Donnarumma. No, we're not. He's probably headed to the Premier League somewhere else, and I think Manchester United is going to be the destination for him. But yeah, that is everything. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know which piece of news interested you the most in the comment section if you're still watching. But yeah, thank you so much for the support on these videos, and as always, it's Repulse, and I'm out. Peace.